What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be discussing a new feature that was currently released in AWS. I think the end of last week or beginning of last week. But at any rate, this new feature is called AWS CodeWhisperer, and it's designed to help developers become more productive and more efficient by using artificial intelligence to help maybe predict the next code line or snippet that you would want to create. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. So, there's a couple things that you need to have installed before you can actually use CodeWhisperer. So, the first thing is the AWS toolkit for Visual Studio. Obviously, you can install that here. Just come into the AWS site. I'm sorry, aws.amazon.com/Visual Studio, and then this will walk you through the steps to install that. And then if you already have, the other thing you need to have installed is the CLI to configure your AWS environment on your machine. So if you have multiple environments that you work within on AWS, you'll just need to configure one that you can use with CodeWhisperer. And then the next thing is actually setting up CodeWhisperer. So let's go ahead. So I typically use Visual Studio. I couldn't find any resources that had this CodeWhisperer plugin for just regular Visual Studio, like enterprise or professional. But I was able to find something that would work with Visual Studio Code. So that may be the only thing that it's supporting right now, but at any rate. So there's a couple different ways to install the toolkit. So I showed you from the actual AWS website, and you can just come in here to the extension marketplace and search for Visual Studio. Search for AWS toolkit and install it there. And then once you have that installed, you'll need to basically create a new builder ID to be able to log in and use the CodeWhisperer. So, from my understanding, there's two ways to use. Two flavors of CodeWhisperer right now. So they have like an individual developer account, which is account or profile, which is free. And then there's also an organizational level profile. And I want to say that one's about $19 or $20 per month per user for the organization. But if you're doing just freelance developing this, just use your personal email address and you can go ahead and get signed up. So let's walk you through that process right now. So like I said, I have the toolkit installed, and I'm just going to go to use a personal email address and sign in. Just click that. And it asks me copy code for AWS Builder ID. Copy code. Yes, on that guy. And do you want code to open the external website? Yes, I do. Okay. Let's wait a second. Alright, so I'm going to paste my code in here. Looks like it's redirecting us to AppSync. Let's go ahead and pause this. It's taking a little bit longer than I expected. Okay. Not really sure why that was taking so long to load up, but once it finally finishes doing this thing, it's going to bring you to this site for you to create your builder ID. Okay, I've entered my email address, and now it's redirecting me to some other profile. Let's see, this is should just be confirming my registration. Okay, so as part of the registration process, it asks you to basically confirm your email address, and then it'll send you a 6-digit code that you will re-enter on the site here, and then you'll be able to continue. All right. Now it's asking me to create a password. Okay. 3 or 4, that's 8. And basically show me that you are a human. Okay. Alright. And it's creating my builder ID now. Never. Okay, so now it's saying allow AWS Toolkit for VS Code to access your data. And I'm just going to hit allow. Okay. All right. AWS Toolkit for VS Code cannot access your data. You can close this window and start using the AWS Toolkit for Visual Studio. All right. So now that we have completed the registration process, so let's actually open up a file here, and just to see what this thing will tell us. Let's see. Let's see. Some tools you've been using word profile file. Okay. All right. And so we got CodeWhisperer here. Okay. So let's see. All right, and then I think we just hit the start button. Let's see what happens. Okay. All right. So now it's running. So we can see here that basically I can pause auto suggestions, or I can run a security scan on my existing code. So when I was reading about this, my understanding is that it goes in and basically runs a set of security scans. So like if you had some hard coded values that you wouldn't want to ship with your production application, or maybe some SQL injection vulnerabilities that it could scan for. So things of that nature. But let's see here. Okay. So yes. Okay. Okay, let's see. So it says CodeWhisperer uses machine learning to generate code suggestions from the existing code and comments in your IDE. Supported languages include Java, Python, JavaScript, C Sharp, TypeScript. Navigate with the tab and arrow keys as you enter your code. CodeWhisperer will offer inline code suggestions. Use tab to accept a suggestion. Okay, so let's do. Okay. Alright, let's see if we can close this guy out. Alright, I want to close. Okay. Alright, and then so we're in here. And let's see. Why is my machine running so slow now? Okay. If okay. Okay, so if response equals no, throw a new exception, secret not found. Okay, and then tab over to accept it. Okay, else. Okay. So I'm not sure if this is actually from Visual Studio itself or CodeWhisperer. Let's pause CodeWhisperer real quick. And let's rewrite that same line. Let's see what happens. If okay. Alright, I believe that. Okay. So that tells us what we need to know right there. So that, if you saw that particular line of code was suggested from CodeWhisperer, and this is just a class file I pulled in from a separate project. This one example. But let's resume that, okay? So we just turned the auto suggestion back on, and basically we're making a call to this AWS Secret Manager's client. So we want to get the response back from the endpoint and take some action on it. But before we do that, we want to check it. So if response, okay. Alright, okay, I see what it's doing. Okay. So basically I can tab over to see what my options are. So if response equals no, return no. If response okay, and then this is the auto suggestion here. So if response equals no, if response equals null or string that is null or empty, response dot secret string return null. So I could see this being useful. It appears to be a little slow to respond. So I'm not sure if that's something related to my machine specifically, or if that's the effects of running CodeWhisperer. Um, but it appears to work. So this kind of, depending on what kind of libraries you've used in the past or extensions, this kind of reminds me of a product called ReSharper by JetBrains. It's basically an IDE or Visual Studio extension that would do things like this. So this seems kind of an extension of that. Plus, it has the security scanning capability. So let's take a look at that. Okay, and this is what we get from that. Oh, you probably can't see it. Let me move that. Okay, so when I try to, let me move myself here. Okay, not sure how well you can read this, but can I zoom in? Okay, I don't see it. But basically, it says security scan failed. Error C# is not supported for security scan. So I'm really not sure what to make of that. Seeing as how this is a C# class, so probably need to do a little bit more research on what the actual security scan of CodeWhisperer supports. But at any rate, you were able to see me. I had already had the AWS toolkit installed, but you did see me go through the process of registering to have an AWS builder ID established, and then go on to get a suggestion from the CodeWhisperer itself. So, sure there'll be subsequent videos to follow up on this since this is pretty new. Haven't really had much time to play with it, but I did want to go ahead and get a video out there and get the conversation started. If you're using this utility, I would love to hear some of your use cases when you've used it versus just coding, manually. If it's really improved any of your coding or pointed something out to you that was wrong, or if you've actually noticed something that it generated that was wrong, because with machine learning, it's only it can only make predictions off the training data set that it has currently. So, but more to come on that. Anyway, thank you for watching.